So it's a little bit daunting. It is a little bit of a daunting project for me. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelly, also known as RowRow and Kades, and this is a podcast all about what I've been knitting and designing and crocheting over the last 2 weeks. This is episode 89. Huge welcome to everybody returning and new. It's lovely to see you. Housekeeping, as usual, housekeeping up front. It seems that when I record, my cats wake up. So they are currently chasing each other around the house, and it can get a little bit noisy. One of them is currently, the kitten is currently trying to jump on top of the cooker. So you might hear, it's not on, it's just, he's being very naughty. And then my dog went out just before I started recording, so she'll want to come back in and barge past the camera. It's just, it's the usual, it's one of them. So, I have a few things to tell you and a few things to show you and a few things to tell you. And yeah, there's a couple of changes coming just for the month of August, but we'll talk about it at the end. So first up, I have 2 finished objects. One of them you've already seen but unblocked, and I meant to show you last time and forgot. So that is my water shawl by Sylvia McFadden. I did block it a couple of weeks ago and I've wore it a few times as well, and I completely forgot to show you. I know I showed you it, I thought there was a spider up there, sorry, it's just... No, there's not. So yeah, I blocked it a few weeks ago and I just forgot to show you. So here it is, blocked. So this is... Sylvia McFadden's water shawl. Now in her photos it's one colour, but I don't know why, but I thought it was a one skein project, and then I don't know why I thought that, and then when I went to cast it on I realised it wasn't, and I didn't have two of the same skein. So I ended up just finding 2 that went together nicely. It does remind me of, you know when you cook pie and you do the slices on the top and then the filling like seeps through in that pretty pattern. It reminds me of that, like a berry pie. I do have a little lump there. I don't know if you can see it. If I do this, you might be able to see it more. There is a lump that could be, it probably is entirely my fault because I wasn't doing the increases when I should. A lot of the time I kept missing them out, and then I was like botching it, so that's probably all my fault, that lump there. But it is absolutely beautiful. It does have these lacy what's it called, short row sections to create this beautiful thing, and it is beautiful, and it also has like it's not a picot edge, it's like an eyeletty edge on there. So yeah, that is my water shawl done and dusted. It's beautiful. I did use this yarn is Buttery Biscuit Base by Adventures in Yarncraft, who has now stopped dyeing, so unfortunately you won't be able to get that, but you can get something similar. And then this, also unable to be got, is Skein and the Stitch, but it's a one of a kind. So that's also, so it's knitted in completely unavailable yarns. I apologise. But I'm pretty certain you can find something similar to those 2 yarns quite easily. Right, so that's that one I've showed you. My next finished object is some socks that have been needing to be finished for the longest time, and that is Terry's vanilla socks. So I'd had this one done. I knitted it in Arcadia, Scheepjes Arcadia. This is the Sahara colourway, which is a tonal, but it is quite stripy for a tonal. I don't think tonal is actually the right term for it, but that's what they call it. So it's Sahara's tonal, and then this is the solid, which is Delta, which is like a tealy green colour. does look a bit brighter in that than it actually is. But there you go. So I've done 2. I had the second one. They're kind of similar, look. Like, I didn't intend that to happen. But they're not far off being the same. They're just, that one's slightly further down than that one in its stripes. So yeah, that I just knitted from the ball again. I didn't like try and find where I was. It would be impossible to find where you were in here because it's like so much yellow and then a little bit of pale yellow. So yeah, so they're done. They are a cuff down, heel flap and gusset. I cast on 64 stitches for him, but on a 2.5mm. And yeah, these are, so if you haven't used Scheepjes Arcadia before, it's got quite that rusticy, like West Yorkshire Spinner's signature 4-ply type rusticy feel. But I think that makes a more robust sock, to be honest with you, especially for blokes. So, and Terry will not wear slippers or anything in the house. He literally just walks around in his socks. So his socks need to be hella hard wearing. Like, they're his slippers. So yeah, so there we go. So they are now done and they can go in his drawer. I forgot, I had finished them in my last podcast episode, and I said to them, you can't have them until I finished filming the podcast. And then I forgot to show them, and he wasn't very happy with me because he couldn't have his socks. So he can have them now. I can give him them now. He can wear them today if he wants. Yellow is his favourite colour, so that's why they're yellow socks. So there we go. That's Terry's socks done. Ah. Right, that's it for finished objects. My dog's coming in now. Hang on. Right. Next. I have, living in my lovely crocheted bag made by my friend Ange. I have my pink velvet. Now, a lot of you with my pink velvet have been very much like me. I've got hair on my camera. Wait a minute. You've been like me. So I've been like, oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And some of you were like, no, pull it out. And then others were like, oh, I really like it. It looks like this. But then a lot of you were like, yeah, I don't know either. I don't know. And then when I split for the sleeves and I showed you it again and said, look, now it's split for the sleeves, I like it. You all like it. I don't think there's anyone who's went, oh no. Even people who said, pull it out, have said, now, that's nice. So maybe it is just a case of you've got to get the sleeve split on this one. I don't know. So anyway, I've done some since you last seen me. I haven't been concentrating that hard on it. So this is where I was when you last seen me, and this is where I am. So that's the back, but we are getting there. You can see where the sleeve splits here. Sleeve splits here, so I'm that far down from the sleeve split. Good few inches. I've probably got about the same again to go, I would think. And then I've got the sleeves to do. So it is a long project, I think. Those of you who haven't been regular viewers, this is my pink velvet by Andrea and Mowry. It is a yoke top down lightweight jumper, because it's not a tee, because it does have long sleeves. It is in 4-ply, and you're supposed to use what's it called? Boucle. It's got a click in it. You're supposed to use Boucle for the colour work in the same colour as the main colour yarn. That's how she did it. I didn't want to do that. I wanted like a contrasting colour. And I've been and ahhing thinking, oh, it's gone a bit muddy. This is my colour work. But I do like it now. I do like that watercolour aspect of it. Like, I don't know, I just think it's really pretty now. And yeah, if you want to see the inside, you can. So I have used Yarnsmiths Merino sock in the grey heather colourway. That's my main colour, which is a 4-ply yarn, a fingering weight. And my Boucle is Creative Anarchy, Queen of the North, which is this one. And I think my main issue is that a lot of the colours in this Boucle is like exactly the same as this. So I think it kind of melded together. I don't know. But then I did show you last time, I still got it, I did a darker swatch just to see if I would prefer that. And that might be upside down, but no, it's not. But it did the same with that. It's still quite muddy, and I think it's just because it's so variegated. Maybe Andrea Mowry used a really plain Boucle. I don't know. I do not know, but I love mine now. I'm so happy with it, and I just want to get it done. It feels so squidgy in this top bit. I do need to get the sleeves done, but I do really like it. Yay. Yeah, so I'm getting there. I'm getting there with that, but it's going to be on the back burner for a bit, and I'll explain more later of why. It's in a bag at the minute. I don't know why, but it is. Right, so that's that one. The other things I've been working on is my coastal water socks, which is a cal that I'm currently running. It doesn't end until the 29th of October, so you can still join in if you wanted to. You basically need to knit the coastal water socks, finish them, post them on Instagram, tell me on the main post on my Instagram grid, on the cal post, which is pinned to the top of my Instagram grid. Let me know there that you've finished your socks, and then there'll be a random generator draw from the comments on that post, and someone will win a beautiful prize of yarn and goodies. So this is mine so far. So I've already finished one. These are a mirrored sock, so I've already done one. It's a taupe and it's a fleagle heel. It's got this lovely lace pattern just running up one side, the other side is plain. So they are quite a quick knit, to be fair. And that's my first one that I've done, and then this is my second one. I've just got to where I need to start working on the heel, the fleagle heel. So yeah, I've used Giddy Yarn's sock set, and it's this beautiful like lilac-y blue, and then this lovely minty sea green. It's not really sea green, is it? Well, it could be. Depends where you are, I suppose. Definitely not the North Sea. It's more of a murky grey. Yeah, it's like... It's called The Reluctant Hero. And I did look it up because I keep saying I don't know who the hero is that she means. And it's not anyone in particular. When I looked it up on her Instagram, I searched for this yarn when it come out, and it is still available on her website as well. And it just says that it's just for any of those reluctant heroes out there. It wasn't anybody in particular. This is what it actually looks like in the ball. I just hand wound these. That's why they're not very pretty. They're just balled up. But there you go. So that's my Coastal Waters socks that are coming along nicely. I should have them done soon. They're living in a little bag that I bought from Salou, funny enough. Another pair of socks that I have been working on, but I've slowed down because I've had other things going on, is my Bits and Bobs socks. So I did try these. And I showed you, and the problem with them is you have to blend, you use lots of minis to make them, but you have to blend the minis together as the transition, and mine were just way too similar and you couldn't see the little transition point. So then I dug out a fade, a mini fade that Terry had bought me a while ago. It was from Botanical Yarn, and it was like all pink sparkly yarns. Now, I have started, and the cuff is just, hello. The cuff is just a random mini, one's longer than the other. I've been working them in tandem, I'm a bit tangled up. This is the smallest one. So the cuff isn't from the fade, but it was just a sparkly random mini that I'd already done, and I thought, well, I don't want to do that. So you see now how the pattern actually works. Now, on camera, it picks up amazingly. No! He wants to go outside, and I would like to show you. Come here. The size of him, and he thinks he can go outside. You're not allowed outside because you're small. You're very small. Who's that on there? Look. Who's that on there? Of how small you are. This is Mike, if you haven't seen him before. Mike. Who's this? Mike. Who's this? Who's this? Look. Who's this? No, he's not looking at you today. But he is a tiny little titch. Now, someone did say, I keep saying that he's so small compared to my other cat, Dax. I have 4 cats. No, he's going down now. I will pop a picture up if I can of the 2 of them together so you can see. Dax is absolutely ginormous. Anyway, we're not here for cats, we're here for knitting. So, I'm still tangled. Yes, what I was saying was, the pattern picks up amazingly well on the camera, but it doesn't as much in real life. It's nowhere near as popping as that in real life, which is really frustrating, because if it looked like that, like it does on camera, I'd be well happy. But it's not, it's kind of a little bit more fuzzy in real life. Anyway, that's not the pattern's fault, that's my fault. These are a cuff down heel flap and gusset sock. You obviously do have to do a little bit of colour work because of these little sections where you're transitioning. Yeah, so this is as far as I've got. One's obviously further than the other. You kind of have to get one past a certain colour before you can go back to the other one because of the transition. And the sock set, no, it's not a sock set, the fade. My issue is the colours are really, really similar. Some of them are so close together that you can't actually tell, like this. Like, that's supposed to be a fade. That's not fading anything, is it? This is quite similar again. They're just, and it's why I haven't really done anything with them. So I'm trying to, you get like you get lighter pinks in there. They're not so bad, but these darker ones are bad. They're very similar. So I'm trying to like alternate in between, so it's a bit like this, so that the colours stand out a bit more. And I have 2 more to get in there. But it has been a little bit tricky. And like I say, in real life, those little pops of colour do not stand out quite as well as they do on screen. But I'm getting there. They're going on hold at the minute, obviously. But yeah, they'll be done. They're in my Make 9 and I will be getting them done. They're lovely. They're really pretty socks. It's just annoying that the original colours that I used were not working. Right. The other thing I've been working on is my granny square blanket, which I did show you last time. I'm not going to get it out again because I've only done like 2 rows on it, but I'm going to try and do 1 row a night, because last time I asked you guys about crochet hooks and I said like that I couldn't find a crochet hook for it, and pretty much every single person recommended a clover crochet hook. I think one other person said tulip, and somebody maybe said a Knit Pro, and there might have been one other mentioned. I don't remember, but what I do know is that 95% of people said clover. So I went to Yarndale last weekend and I searched high and low for clover. I couldn't find them for a long time. I did manage to get a Knit Pro, and I haven't used that yet. And then right near the end, I found a clover. There was a clover Amore and a clover Soft Touch. Now, they were both in their packets, and the guy who was selling them said he had a clover Amore on the desk that I could hold and have a little go of, and I did, and it was a smaller one than what I needed. It was like a 3.5 or something, and I needed a 5. But I had hold of it and I could feel that it was like not spongy, but it had that nice, I don't know what you call that, but you know, like it's like plastic, but it's like, it's not even furry. I was going to say furry. It's not. It's just got that nice texture to it. I don't know what it is. And then this clover Soft Touch had like a hard plastic handle with like just a thumb point that was that kind of stuff, which was obviously the soft bit. So I went with the clover Amore because I like that type of handle better, that nice, soft, almost spongy plastic that's not actually spongy. It's very strange. I don't know what it's called. But I went with that. So I went with clover Amore. I haven't had a chance to pick it up until 2 nights ago, and I did a row, and absolute game changer. So thank you to every single person who said clover, because oh my God, like, it's kind of like I know what I'm doing with knitting needles. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And I know my favourite. And I've tried lots of different needles, but I always go back to the same ones, which is pretty much Chiagu. I love my Chiagus. I love my sock Chiagus. I've got 3 now of the same size so that I can have different socks on the go. Like, I have different sock needles, but they are my absolute favourite. They're blooming sharp though, and they do hurt my finger sometimes, but they are my absolute favourite for all my knitting. I prefer to go on my Chiagus. I do use others, but I know what I prefer. But crochet hooks, I didn't have a clue, because I'm new. I've been crocheting just over a year. I'm new. I'm a noob. So I didn't really know what to look for on it. Like, you see all these crochet hooks with the big bobbles, put on them beads, and they have fancy handles, and I'm like, would I like that? And I don't want to pay like loads of money to try something that I'm not going to use. People have given me a lot of hooks, and some of them are great and some of them are not so much. And I have started to realise the kind of thing that I like. I realise that I don't just want a straight metal handle with nothing going on. I do want a bit more of an ergonomic grip. I see people with big, massive grips on them, and I think, God, could you? I don't think I could use that. And oh, it's a minefield. It is a minefield. So for you all to just say clover was a bit like, oh, what am I missing? And now I know what I'm missing. I crocheted so much faster. It was so much smoother. Just everything about it. Now, I love my Temu ones, but I didn't like it for the bigger yarn. I like it for small yarn. I did not like it when I was doing the blanket, and I told you that. And yes, the clover has just blown everything out of the water. So full set of clover for me at some point in my life, definitely. So thank you for that. But I have only had 2 nights work on it, and so there's only 2 rows gone on it. So I'm not going to bother showing you. I'll show you next time. But it's growing, and it's growing with a lovely clover hook. Thank you so much. I have been doing some other crochet though, and that is another one from my Make 9. And it is, don't know why I'm unzipping it, because it's not in there, it's in here. Puff the Magic Stegosaurus, which is a dinosaur for Rowan. And it's made up of lots of African flower. They're not squares, so African flower things. And this is what I've been doing. So I've made 8 so far. And they look a bit like this. Each one is different. So this is all for Rowan's dinosaurs. So you basically, they're so little. I didn't think they would be as little as they are. But they're on a 2, now it's not. The pattern calls for a hook that I don't own. And it's smaller than what I'm using. The pattern calls for I think it's a 1.75 millimetre hook. It's very small. So the smallest I had was a 2 millimetre. So I went with 2 millimetres, just my Temu one. And I went with this. Tiny, tiny little hook. I do love these though, still. I got lots of scraps in my bag. Like, just loads of different colours. And I just went for it. And now I know the pattern, so I can just crack on. You have to make 20 of this one. And then there's another one that's got either an extra flower or one less flower. I can't remember. You make 19 of them. And then you have to make a square, and you have to make a triangle, and you have to make all these different bits. And then you get your main yarn and you crochet them all together in the correct order that creates a dinosaur. So it's a little bit daunting. It is a little bit of a daunting project for me, because for some reason I thought you made them as you went and you built the dinosaur, but you don't. You make everything first and then you build the dinosaur. And I am quite apprehensive to build the dinosaur, and I need to get it right for him. He has requested, he's seen all these, and there is a couple with like some pinks in there. And he said, that's fine, but can I have more blue and purple, please? So I need to go through my stash and get out lots of blue and purple scraps and make sure it's predominantly blue and purple. He does like, orange used to be his favourite colour, so he does like a bit of orange, so I can keep that in there. But I think I need to get rid of the pink. I'm not allowed to use the pink anymore. And people were saying, oh, they're so pretty. And he was going, they're not pretty. You can't call them pretty. So I said, what can we call them? And he said, cool. And then my friend Anne said colourful. So I said colourful or cool. And then Katie from Songbird Handmade said she called them pretty. And I explained to her, you can't call them pretty. And she said, my bad, they're Sigma. And that's all Rowan ever says is, oh my God, it's so Sigma. Everything's Sigma. Honestly, kids. I remember when I was a kid, everything was wicked. Oh my God, that's so wicked. And my nana used to still say wicked as in evil. And she used to think I was really weird for saying wicked. It's, oh, it's wicked, Nana. And she was like, what? So now if she heard Sigma, she'd be like, what on earth? What on earth are you talking about? So that is everything I've been working on over the last 2 weeks. I have been planning new designs and everything, but not actually cast anything on just yet because I'm still neck deep in maths. Ugh, the joys. So we do need a little chat though, because today, I'm recording this on Thursday, the 2nd of October. You will see it on Sunday, the 5th of October, I think, if my maths is correct. Hopefully I've been able to do that little bit of maths, because doing a jumper is quite a bit more complicated than just counting some days. Anyway, so you'll see this on the 5th of October, but today the MCAL started and I will be vlogging the MCAL. Now, because I'm vlogging the MCAL and practically only working on the MCAL, this is going to be my last podcast until November. So we are literally going to only have MCAL episodes. Now, for like four, maybe 5, it depends on when it gets done. I did work it out, but I can't remember what I worked it out as. And then the next thing I'll do straight after is a podcast, so you can see if there's anything else I've been working on. But I do need to just concentrate on the MCAL for now and vlogging, and that's going to take up all my video editing time. Now, what was I going to say? I can't decide whether, because the MCAL came out on Thursday, like today, because the MCAL came out on Thursday, I'm starting to vlog today, and I'll vlog the first clue. But then the second clue will obviously be out on Thursday, and I don't really want to wait until the following Sunday to put the video out. So what I might do is put the videos out on a Friday, I think. Thursday or Friday. It depends how quickly I can edit them. I'm not sure. I might be able to edit bits during the day. Anyway, that's you don't need to know all this. All I'm saying is just keep an eye, click your notifications on for me, because just the month of October, things are just going to change ever so slightly just to accommodate the MCAL. Once the MCAL's over, normal service will resume. We'll be back to Sunday posting and back to a podcast every fortnight and then a different video in between. Which I have lots of plans for. We're going to do some Christmas knits, and we're going to see what's been released over the last 3 months, things like that. So it's all coming, but we have to budge up a little bit and just accommodate for MCAL vlogging. So there we go. That is why a lot of this is going to be put on the back burner, because I'm not going to be able to pick it up, depending on how extensive this bloomin' shawl's going to be. Now, he's already released the clue. I haven't had a chance to have a look at it yet. I wanted to get this done first before I start on that, because once I go into that, that's it. So I wanted to talk about these and get them out of the way. So yes. So just be aware that that's what will be happening. I am going to be putting them up not on a Sunday, before Sunday. So that's everything. Live stuff, there's nothing really gone on over the last 2 weeks. I went to Yarndale, it was lovely. I did a really rubbish job of vlogging it. I don't take any photos of myself with anybody. I don't barely film anybody who's there. I literally film yarn, and I took this camera, and it's usually stood on a tripod in front of me. I don't have to faff with it. And learning to faff with it is a huge learning curve, and it goes up and down. It keeps looking at ceilings, and it's like looking all the way over here when I'm trying to look here and think, hello, pudding. And things like this. Hang on. Oh, here he is again. I'm going to sit on my knee. So I don't know when that video is going to come out, but you do need to bear with me that it might be a bit... I'm going to sneeze. That video will probably come out around about November time, I think, after the MCAL. Oh, we have a pal on the desk. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got a bit sneezy. I do have one thing to show you, which is an acquisition that I got not from Yarndale. I got it a few days before. And that is Giddy yarns. So hang on, I'm going to put this tea down. Right, I was looking at Giddy Yarn's Instagram because I was searching for what that yarn was named after, the yarn that I use for my coastal waters socks. I'm sorry, I've gone all stuffy now because I've been sneezing. So I was looking through, finding Reluctant Hero, finding out what it was all about and everything, but then she's released a new collection based on James and the Giant Peach. Now, I read James and the Giant Peach recently with my 9-year-old. It's a Roald Dahl book, if you haven't heard of it. And it's just this fantastical book about a boy who goes on his travels inside a giant peach with all these insects. It's a very strange book, and it's not my favourite Roald Dahl at all. I'm not a massive fan of James. I've got a really tickly nose, I'm sorry. I'm not a massive fan of James the Giant Peach, but I do know what happens in the story. And she's released this collection, and she had one called Sharks. There is a point in the book where they're in the sea floating on the peach, and a load of sharks come and start trying to eat the peach, and they have to get the peach up into the sky, and they end up managing to do it in the most spectacular way with lots of seagulls and things like this and silk thread, and it's a mental book. Anyway, one of the yarns she released was called Sharks, and I saw it and I just fell head over heels and ended up ordering it, even though I was going to Yarndale like 2-3 weeks later. I was like, what are you doing? But I had to have it. That was very long-winded to tell you that here's the yarn. So this is Sharks. by Giddy Yarn. And I just love it. I don't know, I just love it. You get this lovely blue, and then it's just got these gorgeous pops of colour. The red from the blood, their big white teeth, and the gorgeous blues. It's just, I just love it. I really, really love it. So that is Giddy Yarns, and it is Sharks. So that's still available if you wanted to grab yourself one. I really, really love it. I love her yarn. It's beautiful. I do have, I think Reluctant Hero was the first I ever got from her, and I just loved it. And then I didn't mean to shop. It was a proper accidental purchase. We've got a little sleeping kitten on the desk now. So yeah, it's good to all my beads have been put away. Yes, thank you very much for all your seed bead orders. I had a few through after showing you my ravens and poison bottles. Not of ravens and poison bottles though, funnily enough. Some did, but it was mostly the little ghosts and the pumpkins that I do. So that was funny. But that does tend to happen. I'll show, oh, look at this new stitch marker I've got coming out. And then people will go to the shop and just buy lots of different ones. But I don't care. It's great as long as you're enjoying them and you like them. I've got some new ones coming out soon for Christmas. There's a little clue. And yeah, there's a few in the pipeline. I am actually thinking of doing a stitch marker club next year, where you get a stitch marker once a month, but you don't have to sign up permanent. You don't have to sign up for the full year. You can just drop in and out. But I'll only it would have to be limited spots, because if I sold 100, I'd be in an absolute panic. I wouldn't be able to make them all. So it would only be limited spots of probably 30, so that I know I can do one a day for when other things get really busy. For the time being, just until I ease in and see how it goes and everything. And I don't know how to play it, whether to actually show the stitch marker that it's going to be, or just show like pictures of like clues, you know, like indie dyers. Some of them show you what it's going to be, but some of them just give you clues, so it's a nice mystery. So I don't know, I can't decide what to do. I think I might put a vote. I'll put a vote on here, and I'll put a vote on Instagram, a vote on my Patreon. Like, I'll vote, shop votes around and see what the overall feeling is, but it wouldn't be until January anyway. But yeah, it's just a little idea I've had. So there's no live stuff to tell you, which is why I'm just waffling about other random rubbish. Nothing's really gone on. Like, just Yarndale. I went to Yarndale. It was amazing. It was so good to see the people that I don't get to see often. Like, lovely Jules. I love spending time with Jules so much. And Suzanne, I love seeing her. Diane, oh my God. And like Amanda, just like, oh, just these people that I just love seeing, and I just don't get to do it enough, and it's not fair. But yeah, and there's other people in the world that I just will never get to see, and that just makes me so sad, because it's like, oh, you're so far away, and it's not fair. But yeah, and we need to invent teleportation, although when I see how teleportation is meant to work, I don't fancy it, because it, like, I don't know whether you know, but according to Star Trek, it takes apart all your body and then it puts it back together again. Not really a fan of that. No. So maybe teleportation isn't for me. Anyway, I'm stuffy and full of blech, and I should probably go. Do I have anything else to tell you? I don't think I do. I will tell you that this month coming up on Patreon, there is 2 knit and natters, which are available to everybody, but they are on the Patreon. There is quiz night for the Nups, where a prize will be won. The stitch marker giveaway has been spun, and lovely Mary Ruth won it. Well done, Mary Ruth. She won that one. And then I've currently got 2 Athenaeum cowls in testing. So one is a DK version, a bit more snug. One is a looser fitting 4-ply version. They both work out the same size, but the 4-ply just tended, when I knit it anyway, it just draped a lot more. So it's like a looser fit compared to the snugger DK. Athenaeum is a pattern that I've been bringing lots of different things out with it. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll drop some links below so you can see the tee. There's a hat, there's some socks, and now there's some cowls coming. That's currently in testing, and while that finishes its testing, which is near the end of the month, I am going to be photographing them, and then my Bobbles and Nups will vote on the front cover for me. So I need to take some photos and sort my life out. So I don't like photographing cowls. I find them really difficult. Like when I wear it, I just chuck it on and off I go. But when you're photographing it, you've kind of got to, I don't know, make it look really good, and they don't. They just go, I'm on your neck. What more do you want from me? So it's a bit awkward, but I'll figure it out. Right, I am waffling big style, and I really need to go and see what Stephen West has got in store for me for the month. Okay. It'll be fine. Last year was amazing. It was amazing. I really hope he's like learned from last year and it's something else amazing. Although I did read a message in my Discord from Mackenzie this morning who said that she looked and it looks a bit more complicated than her brain can take on at the minute. And I was like, oh, really? That's clue 1. But we'll see. It'll be fine. Right. So I will see you in my vlogs for the next 4 weeks. And a podcast will be in November. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon. And I will see you in a normal podcast like this in about a month's time.